For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. White, and I work with infection prevention team here in the hospital. I'm an infectious disease doctor. The reason why you're here because we identified you all as part of the team, and the team is, of the DCH hospital, the Northport Hospital. We have Fayette. We have all these places, and you guys are an important part of the team for the work that we do. We're in the healthcare business, and we're taking care of patients. Some of these patients could be you yourself, could be your child, your parent, your friend. And so if we have a healthcare business to attend to, we want for our team to work smoothly. And you all have been identified as, I would say, leaders in the team that you all are on in your area. The area you all are responsible for is keeping the environment clean. We realize that the hospital environment plays an important role in helping the patients to do well, that they don't get sick, that they don't pick up something from the hospital, that the thing they come there for, it gets done, they get up, they go home, and they don't get sicker again or have to stay in there. And unfortunately, some of them, they pick up this other things and they die. So there have been a lot of work done on how we do with this environment here. And we're talking about the environment, just imagine, the rooms, the hallways, the OR, all these different places. That's our environment. And we need to pay some special attention about keeping these areas clean. Bacteria, viruses, and all those things, when they're in places, you can't see them with your naked eye, but they're there. They've told us that there are some places they call the high-touch areas in the rooms, or so where the patients, they're in the bed, or they're holding the railing. Those side tables, they're bringing it across. On the telephone, they're talking. They go to the bathroom, they jam, they're holding the backside, they're holding the door. All those places, they get contaminated with stuff. And if you don't clean them and clean them well, those patients will continue to infect each other. And when you go in the room, or other people go in the room to touch these areas, they go places, they will carry these bacteria around with them. So we have to be careful about how we do it. And there are procedures how you do it to do it well. So it's the same thing with you. If you got a project, you got a room you need to clean, and we're talking about, people who do intake, who do discharge rooms, all those places. If there's a pattern for you to do, to clean it, you learn the pattern and you do it every time. Do you know, now you've heard about C. diff. You ever heard about C. diff? C. difficile. That's an organism that can cause diarrhea in patients, especially when they're on antibiotics and all of that, in out of the hospital, they get the C. diff, they got diarrhea, they get sick. I mean, some of them, some people die from this thing, especially if they're older and they can die from this thing. And C. diff is a bacteria that, when it gets on the surfaces, inside that room and in the bathroom and different places, it's tough to get it to move from there. You can't just take any old disinfectant and put it on there. What do you have to use to get a C. diff room clean? Hallelujah. You got to use bleach. And they don't say you must go take a whole gallon of bleach and put it in the bucket and put some same amount of, you got to have it in a certain concentration. Otherwise, you're going to mess up the whole furniture, everything in the place. It has to be a certain thing to use. And they have even a way in which you get the thing on the cloth and you wipe it this way and you wipe it that way and you turn the cloth over. If you don't do that, you'll be moving it from this place and bringing it to that place. So that's a method. That's a method. So I want you all to own this environmental cleaning business, that let it be your area. So now if you have a specialty or something, I want you to claim it. That's your area. Be proud of it. Okay? If anybody got fever in this hospital here or Northport or DCH, they call me. That's my area. I will take care of that fever. The fever, when you see me come here, it start to hide right away. I want you to be confident that you know the stuff So much that when that nurse tells you, say, oh, no, you need to throw that away, you say, no, no, no. This is what we do with this. This one we do with bleach, and this one we do that, and this we'll recycle it. You tell them, say, hey, nurse, that's my area. The people have done studies too that show that the way you clean a room, it doesn't depend on how much time you spend there. You know, somebody clean the room, they're spending 1 hour, 30 minutes there. You're just talking, all, you know, you're on the phone, you know, and then when your people come behind you, they swap this place, swap that place, or they put it like they found out that you haven't touched some areas. So because you spend 1.5 hours, it don't mean that you did it right. There are some people who did their own in 43 minutes. Another person did theirs in 62 minutes. Somebody did it in 23 minutes. 23 minutes, that's short. But they went and checked the person and, you know, they hit all the spots. So if you know it, you know, say, okay, when I walk in that room, I'm going to start where? In the clean area first, and do it before you go. You know, there's a formula to do it. Learn your formula and repeat it and do it over and over again. That's because, again, what I said, we're in the healthcare business. When you walk into that room, we want you to establish a rapport with the patients, with their relatives, and people in there, because we also know that if you clean up this room just now, and those people come from outside, they come from McDonald's, they bring all the stuff in there, they're eating on it, they'll start dirtying it up, and you need to start telling them, hey, folks, y'all need to help us to be, you know, we're going to clean up this room today, we're going to do this. Here, the trash cans, put your stuff in here. Don't, you know, do this on the bed, and, you know, help to talk to them. A lady person that you are there, you're part of this healthcare team. Not because you're not giving injections and starting IV and passing pills around means that you're not important to this team. You all are important. You are important. There have been some studies that says that if people are in a room, you have a patient in a room that has C. diff. I'm picking on C. diff here today. And that person is discharged from that room. And you just come and you clean the room. Any old willy-nilly way you want to clean it, and, you know, they go. The next patient that comes inside that room, that patient has a 150% chance of getting C. diff too. That is, if that room was not cleaned correctly. For cleaning that room, for that post-discharge something or so, you want to be sure to hell. If my mama come here tomorrow, she come here, she ain't getting it because I'm going to clean this thing up. It could be you coming in there tomorrow. And if you cut it short, you don't do it well, then our facility get a bad reputation. Nobody wants to come here. Everybody's scared. And when we look, we see our numbers for staff been going down over the years. That's because of you. Because people are wearing their gowns. They, you know, the isolation things that we said for them to do. We don't put those signs up there for nothing. They mean something. You know, again, you can't see these things, but they are there. So it is real, folks. It is real. And, you know, I sound like a broken record, like I'm preaching like a Baptist preacher here now, but I am serious about this. Because, again, I want you to own this thing. I want you to, you know, gather your skills and stuff. And don't only learn it for yourself, learn it so that when the next, because, you know, we have a lot of turnover. People come, they leave, they go. You who are the supervisors, the mean people who are carrying the new people around with you, you got to teach them the right thing the first time. And if someone ain't giving you a hard time, they won't do it, then they need to be on your team. You need to let your bosses know they're not doing it the right way. Because somebody else is going to come into that room and they're going to get sick. And they're going to get sick. So we can't do this alone. We need to do it. We need to do the right thing all the time. It can't be partially done or done today and not done tomorrow. We're in healthcare business. We're taking care of the people who come into the hospital, the sick people. You're on that team. You're up front. And the thing is that your job is not just done one time. You do it again. If you got a floor assigned to you, it's not like you go into this room today, then you're done. You don't come back there till the patient is discharged, unless you just cleaning up for the discharge. But every day we got to go back inside at those high touch areas. We got to clean it and everything. In your business, you got supervisors and people who are supposed to be, every 3 or 4 or so. That person will come behind you and be checking. It's not that they don't like you or they don't trust you, but that's his own job or her own job to make sure that thing's done well. And then one of these days, you will be supervisor too, and you got to be showing somebody how to do it and to do it well. So I beg you, I mean, I'm not saying you've done something wrong. You okay? I'm just sharing with you what I've learned, and I just couldn't keep it to myself. I said, we got to let the people who are up there and, get to know these things too. And it's not because, you're not doctors or you are important members of our team. And we want you to know that, want to encourage you to learn it and to do it well. I see sometimes people who don't, you're walking down the hospital ward, I mean, you see a glove on the floor, you see a paper towel, and people pass by. I can't pass by. I got to stop. I pick it up, I find a place, I put it in there, I go, I wash my hands. You can't say, oh, that's not my ward, so I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna touch it. No. We gotta be proud of our place. I mean, I've seen administrators and people, they're passing, they'll stop, they will pick it up. The perception, we have to have, first we gotta look clean, and then we gotta be clean. That's the first, you can't just, if people come and see the place looking all kinds of ways, they don't smell good, you smell the feces, and all, they ain't gonna come back. I mean, if they don't come back, we don't have a job. If they carry our name and go spoil it, that place is bad, it's dirty, it stinks, people are not gonna come. So we're better than that. We're way above that. Now we're talking about the little microbe things now. I'm worried about those things that nobody can see, okay? That's where that's what we told. We done that part. We got the superficial things fine. But those little microbes, those things we can't see, that's what we need to get. So I want you to own your error. I want you to take responsibility. I want you to learn it, to do it over and over again. I want you to be able to teach it and teach it over and over again. You get up from your sleep. You change, sir, if you want to learn about more places, you try to get, assigned to different places so you can learn the things well. We want to be able to monitor it, because not just doing it all the time and nobody's knowing whether it's done correctly, then we don't know where we are. I want to see where did we start from, where have we gone to 6 months, a year down the road, so we can continue to do better. So that's the challenge that I have for you all today.